got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace.
Shalawam, shalawam, Ahchwath. Shalawam. Come on in. Come on in. Ahchwath Alicia, good to see you. You're here bright and early. The water, we're being here bright and early. Wow, we're ready. We are ready for today. Come on in with your royal, beautiful selves. Come on in. As you come in, please do me a favor. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you haven't already done so, hit the notification bell so that in the future, you will be notified whenever we go live. Come on in. So excited about today. I really am. Come on in. We have so much information today, so we are not going to waste any time today. We are going to jump right in, get this royal tea party started, because there's just so much information that is jam-packed into this broadcast today. I apologize for last week. Last week I was ready to go. I was so ready to go, but early in the day I started having issues with the internet. And I worked on this thing all day and was never able to get it resolved until Monday, right? So unfortunately, last week, we weren't able to broadcast. But on the flip side of that, because there's always a positive side to everything, right? We know that last week was Semiramis Day. Everybody was celebrating, Mother's Day. And the enemy was not quite happy with the fact that we weren't. So, of course, he had to, throw a little wrench in there. But what he didn't anticipate is that because he did that, it gave me more time to do more research and to accumulate more information. So instead of, it being a negative, it actually turned out to be pretty positive. So, let's get this royal tea party started. So before we go any further, as we do every single week, we always start with giving a huge praise, a shout out to Ahayah, His Son Yashaya Warawat Kadash. So that's first and foremost. All praises be to Ahayah, His Son Yashaya Warawat Kadash, for bringing us here today, for gathering us together again this Sunday, this first day of the week, to, start the week off on a positive note, right? And for those of you that come across this channel or maybe watching and do not know what I mean when I say Ahayah, that is the name of the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Israelites. I am. When we say Ahayah, Ahayah, it is I am that I am in the Hebrew. When we say Bahashem Yashaya, that's in the name of his son Yashaya, whom the world calls Jesus Christ. Warawak is the Holy Spirit. So once again, all praises be to Ahayah, Bahashim Yashaya, Warawak Kadash, for bringing us here today. We also want to give double honors to our elders and our bishops, deacons, officers out there that are doing the work to spread this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Many of us would not have heard about this truth had it not been for them. So we just thank them for the sacrifices that they make. And every day they sacrifice to bring us this truth. And we are so grateful. We are so thankful. And may the Most High continue to bless them and their families and continue to use them to spread this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. I am your hostess, Ahchwath, Qala Yakachaa, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this broadcast today. And in some instances, having tea. Today, I am not having tea. Today, I am drinking hydrogen alkaline water. That's what I'm doing because I'm a bit dehydrated today. Haven't been drinking my water like I should throughout the day. So, I'm getting ready to correct that. So today, no tea for me. I'm having water. However, what about yourselves? Are you having tea today? Are you having tea? What are you drinking, Ahchwath Alicia? What are you drinking today? Like I said, just water today. Hydrogen alkaline water. And I think I had mentioned earlier this little contraption right here. And it's called Gosoit, Gosoit. And it's a little bottle, a tumbler, and you click a button right here, and there's a lot of bubbles there. And what it does is it transforms the water into hydrogen alkaline water. So there you go. I no longer have to go out and buy big bottles of special alkaline water. I can drink my alkaline water throughout the day by just adding my spring water to this little contraption, and I get my hydrogen alkaline water that way. So it's pretty cool. So Ahchwath Alicia says peppermint and cinnamon sticks. Yes. Peppermint and cinnamon. Wow, what a great combination. That's a tea. Are you having that in tea or in water? So let's go into the disclaimers here. Although I'm a medical provider, and on this broadcast, and certain broadcasts, I should say, on this channel, we do go into topics of health and wellness. What we will not use this platform for is to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. So if you are experiencing any medical problems, please consult your healthcare practitioner. Also, the views that you will hear on this channel are those of myself and my co-hosts, my guests, and not the views of any particular church or organization. One more thing, if you would like to be a guest on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty, please send me an email at shebrewroyaltybiz@gmail.com, and I will put that up there in just a minute. I would like for you to include a brief description of your business, your product or services that you provide, or a topic that you would be willing or interested in co-hosting. So let me put that up here for you. Give me just a second. Let me put that banner up here for you so you can get my email address. shebrewroyaltybiz@gmail.com. So I would love to hear from you so that we can brainstorm on how we can collaborate and to help heal and strengthen our nation. One other disclaimer is tea time with Sheba Royalty is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. We get it, we understand that, and it's okay. However, if you come across this channel and you realize that you do not agree with our beliefs, our lifestyles, that's okay. Keep searching YouTube, and I'm sure that you will find your perfect cup of tea. What I do ask, however, is that you do not leave any derogatory comments or statements in the comment box, because that would be distasteful. Just keep searching. We wish you well on your search, and we know that you will find your perfect cup of tea. So there is my email address. If you would like to be a sponsor of this channel, because we are still a fairly new channel, we haven't been around even for a year yet. We did start last October. I thought it was December, but it was actually October. How time flies. So we are not even a year old yet. And if you are interested in becoming a sponsor of this channel, please also send me an email to shebaroyaltybiz@gmail.com. As a matter of fact, we do have a sponsor, Orderly Fashion 144, and this is where you can shop for custom trends, designs, accessories, and apparel for the dapper and chic. And it's not just for the sisters, but also the brothers can shop here as well. And I will put their information up here for you so that you are able to visit their website. And here's their email address also. So Orderly Fashion 144 is looking for fashion models. So if you purchase something from the website, send in a picture of yourself wearing whatever apparel it is, you can qualify for up to 35% off of your orders. In order to do so, you must order at least 3 items a month from the website, and you can receive up to 35% off on your orders and 1 free item a month. Also, if you place a regular order, be sure to add the discount code Qala 15, which is my name, Qala 15, to receive 15% off your purchases. And free shipping will also populate on orders of $70 or more. So go to orderlyfashion144.com, place your order, and like I said, become a fashion model for them and get discounts, get free items. I think that's an excellent deal. All right, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we are going to get this royal tea party started. Let us do that. Give me just a second here. All right. So once again, man, last week, that was a doozy. I even tried to, I did create a small, a very short, a brief video to let you all know what was going on last week, why I wasn't able to broadcast. I used my iPhone, and even my iPhone was tripping. So the video that I made it wasn't very good quality. So I had to actually take that down because it was sticking. It was, everything was off. Everything was off last week. But here we are. We're here this week. And that's all that matters. We are here this week. We are ready to get this party started. And this week's show is Eating Healthy in a GMO World. Eating healthy in a GMO world. just that topic alone ought to tell you that we are about to go in, because it's just so much information when it comes to that. And you know what? Even myself, I didn't realize all the stuff that's out there until I started doing the research. I knew it was a real rabbit hole, but I didn't realize how deep this rabbit hole went. So we're going to go into a lot of articles tonight because, like I said, a lot of this information, I heard about it, but really didn't have in-depth information about a lot of the topics that we're going to go into tonight. So I relied on doing this research. And like I said, there's just so many articles that we're going to go into tonight. So let's do this. And once again, I would like to thank Ahchwath Alicia for this topic suggestion. She was actually the one that suggested that we go into this topic. So the water, Ahchwath Alicia, I appreciate your input. I thought it was a brilliant idea in light of everything that's going on in our world and how the enemy has been attacking our health from every angle. So these are some of the things that we need to talk about. How do we deal with this? So, like I said, today's broadcast is just jam-packed with information. Please be prepared to take notes. Or also, if you don't want to take notes, be prepared to watch this video over again at some point, because there's, like I said, going to be a lot of information that's going to be given today. So the research, like I said, took me down a serious path, and I've only been able to scratch the surface with the information that I'll be sharing today. So I'm sure that a part 2 is going to be forthcoming. Even the information that I have tonight, I am not sure that if we really delve into it like I would like to, if we will be able to get through all of it tonight. So more than likely, we will be doing a part 2. Some of the topics that we will be delving into today's broadcast will be: what is GMO? Where are GMO crops and animals allowed and banned? What are the top 13 GMO foods and ones to avoid that you may not know about? GMO crops, animal foods, and beyond. We're also going to talk about toxic chocolate. And get this one, the human feces pill. Imagine that. Yeah, that's a topic. The human feces pill. The environmental risks of genetically engineered fish. 8 tips on how to avoid GMO foods. We're going to talk about seedless fruits and vegetables. And how does that happen? How do we get seedless foods? We'll also talk about seeded versus seedless watermelons. There are also 2 videos that I really would like to share with you in regards to what is being injected into foods. But due to the YouTube guidelines, I cannot show them on this platform. What I will do, however, is I do have a Google Groups. If you are not on my Google Groups, please do send me an email so that I can add you to the Google Groups. And what I will do is share these videos with you, because you really do need to watch these videos. Like I said, I cannot share them on YouTube because of the guidelines. And of course, we don't want to do anything that is going to be against YouTube's guidelines, because we do want to keep this channel. So send me an email at shebaroyaltybiz@gmail.com if you are not already a part of my Google groups. But that is how I plan to share those videos. All right. So Ahchwath Qala says, great topics. Looking forward to hearing everything. Khan sis, Shalawam, it's so good to see you. So good to see you all. And for those of you out there that haven't posted, you sisters that haven't posted in the chat, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Give me a Kwam Yasharala, a Khan, just a thumbs up or something. Let me know that you are here. So let's jump right in. Wow. Eating healthy in a GMO world. But as with most, if not all of the topics that I've gone into, we always want to start with the Bible, right? We want to start with the Bible because every single topic that we delve into, the Bible has something to say about these topics. So we always want to start there. Start out with, what does the Bible say about? We're going to talk about the GMOs and, seeds. So let's talk about, since there are seedless fruits, let's start off with what the Bible says about the body being the temple of the Most High and seeds. So I am going to share my first article. Give me just a second. Let me share my screen here. I'm telling you, I don't know how many topics I have on here. Let's start off with the Bible verses. There are 47 Bible verses here. Now, let me start here. Bible verses about seeds. So I am going to share this. Wrong one. Give me just a second. That was... Here we go. Here we go. Bible verses about seeds. So let's start off with Genesis 1:29. And God says, or Ahayah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So the Most High made it clear that every herb bearing seed, right? He said he has given to us every herb bearing seed, not some, not herbs that are seedless, right? He said, and every tree in which there is fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. That's pretty clear. That's pretty clear. Let's see. 1 Corinthians 15:38. But God giveth it a body as it had pleased him, and to every seed his own body. Genesis 1:11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. So the Bible clearly states that the herbs, the fruit, are supposed to have seeds. So why is it that we are now being given seedless fruits? What is going on here? And here's Genesis 1:29 and 30. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which there is fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. Let's see if we can get into more here. And it was, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. So I am going to share. I am going to share this link so you can read more on these scriptures in reference to seeds. So give me just a second, because from here out, we are going to start going into quite a few articles from here on out. It's just going to be article after article, because there's a lot. Once again, give me just a minute here. I have to get back into the emails where I have all of my links. All right. So that's the Bible verses. I have another link here that I'm going to share with you. I'm just going to, this one, I am going to put this one, I am going to just put the link in the box, the comment box. This one is 47 Bible verses about seeds. So this is another website. And like I said, I'm just going to put this in the link in the comment box here. There we go. So there's another link for you. So let's see, where shall we go from here? Let us start off with GMO. Let's start with what is GMO. All right, here we go. So this article goes into what does, let's see, let me just go ahead and agree for now. This article is from saferbrand.com. And the title is, what does the non-GMO label means? Because we see this, we hear this word all the time, but how much do we know? How much do we really know about what this label means? So this article goes into that. Let's start off here. So there's a new label, according to this website, non-GMO project, is appearing on food packaging in your grocery stores. With the label, shoppers get a tool to help navigate the often confusing grocery aisles, since it provides a clear way to identify products that do not use GMOs. But how does it compare to the USDA's organic label? Here's a quick snapshot of the differences, which we'll get into later. So this is organic versus non-GMO. What these labels mean. For GMO activists, there's another solution. Instead of worrying about GMOs, they should seek out products that have earned an organic label. So this is what we're looking for, the label that says organic. So here's the USDA definition. Is the organic label federally regulated? Yes. Is the non-GMO label federally regulated? No. Does the organic label ban GMOs? Yes. Does the non-GMO label ban GMOs? Yes. Does the organic label ban synthetic pesticides? Yes. But no, the non-GMO label does not. Does it ban hexane? Yes. And I take it that that's some sort of chemical. The non-GMO label, no. Does the organic label ban antibiotics? Yes. The non-GMO label, maybe. Maybe it does. We're not sure. Does the organic label ban sewage? Yes. But the non-GMO label does not. Does the organic label ban steroids? Yes, it does. But the non-GMO does not. Does the organic label ban ionizing radiation? Yes, but the non-GMO label does not. So understanding GMOs. GMOs, which stand for genetically modified organisms, are plants, animals, microorganisms, and other ingredients. What are the other ingredients? We have no idea, right? That have been manipulated by scientists to assist in their production, preparation, and or use as a food. Scientists achieve these results by manipulating or modifying genes in ways not previously possible in nature or through crossbreeding. For many people, GMOs present dietary risks they are unwilling to take. This concern stems from the fact that so few studies have been conducted on their risks to human health and how GMOs affect the environment. Furthermore, they say the unscrupulous biotechnology companies that develop GMOs patent these creations and restricts their use. This gives these companies the opportunities to sue farmers whose fields may inadvertently grow these crops. Inadvertent use may happen if bees cross-pollinate a crop or if the wind or erosion carries seed into a new field. Scientists and companies counter these arguments by explaining they are creating products that offer higher yields and are easier to manage and use less space and resources. These benefits, they say, far outweigh the feel-good issues brought up by anti-GMO activists. Here we go again with the anti stuff. At the same time, they freely admit they act in their own best interest to protect their investments and property from theft and used without their permission. So here's one of their arguments. GMO crops usually produce higher yields. What are some common GMO products? Let's talk about that. The Non-GMO Project lists several common plants that are often GMOs, especially when produced on an industrial level. Common plant examples are alfalfa, canola, corn, cotton, papaya, soy, sugar beets, yellow summer squash, and zucchini. Animal products and the animal themselves can often be GMOs. So not just the products, but the animals themselves. Examples include eggs, gelatin, hides and skin, honey, meat, microorganisms such as enzymes and cultures, and milk. Question: are GMOs safe? Whether or not GMOs are safe depends on whom you ask. Non-GMO diet practitioners say no, because humans are meant to consume natural substances, not Frankenstein creations that we can't process properly. This manipulation, they fear, could lead to increased instances of cancer or other ailments. Further, these creations may prove to be too difficult to control if they start growing in the wild, which threatens native species. And I think that that's basically what they want, right? To get rid of the Most High's creation and allow the enemy to bring his creation in to replace God's natural resources that he put on this earth for us to consume. That's just my views. Scientists, however, point to data assembled from the numerous studies they've made. One recent article from Cornell University's Alliance for Science pulled the consensus all together, stating everyone previously fearful about the health effects of GMOs should breathe a huge sigh of relief and start looking for more evidence-based explanations for worrying trends in health issues. So we should start looking for other reasons other than the GMOs that's causing health issues. That's basically what they're saying. And so that's the only rebuttal that they have. Okay. Both sides feel the debate is settled. Scientists say go full steam ahead and continue creating GMOs that grow better, produce more, and deliver the nutrients we need most. Sounds like a money thing to me. Anti-GMO factions say shoppers deserve warnings about what they eat and that most GMOs aren't worth the risk. I tend to agree with that. So GMO plants are patented by their creators. Isn't that something? What do you all think about that, Ahchwath? The GMO plants are patented by their quote unquote creators. So here we go. Now these individuals are playing God, right? They're considering themselves the creators. What do y'all have to say about that, Ahchwath? Isn't that something? I mean, these people are really trying to replace God. How's that working out for them? Okay. How do organic producers avoid GMOs? Considering the ubiquitous use of GMOs in industrial agriculture, completely avoiding these products is becoming more difficult. In fact, many producers who want to retain a GMO-free status are finding it harder to do so because of accidental exposure to neighboring fields that do raise GMO crops. Recognizing this, the USDA explains that producers' intentions are what count. So it's the intentions, not the outcome that counts. The inadvertent presence of GMOs in otherwise GMO-free crops can still earn that product organic certification. So let me get this straight. Recognizing this, the USDA explains that producers' intentions are what count. The inadvertent presence of GMOs in otherwise GMO-free crops can still earn that product organic certification. Further, the agency urges the use of planting methods that discourage accidentally mixing the two. These methods include rotating planting times, agreements with neighbors to avoid GMO use, and the thorough cleaning of farm equipment used in processing both crop types. The organic option. For GMO activists, there's another solution. Instead of only worrying about GMOs, they should simply seek out products that have earned the organic label. For more information on each element, see the description below. Okay, so let's see here. So now we're going to compare the organic label again with the non-GMO. Well, we've already done this. This appears to be the very same label that was up here, organic versus non-GMO. And this one is organic versus non-GMO. So it's the same. Okay. USDA definition. In order for the USDA to develop a policy for regulating a particular label, the agency requires an enforceable definition for that label. The USDA has definitions. It applies to products labeled organic, which includes fruits, vegetables, meats, and other products. The USDA simply defines GMO as an organism produced through genetic engineering, which is vague enough to include common practices as crossbreeding and selective breeding. It does not have a definition for what a non-GMO product is. And as a result, it cannot take actions to enforce this term. Number 2, label usage federally regulated. Products that are labeled organic are certified by the USDA's National Organic Program. There is no federal agency to enforce non-GMO labels. There is the Non-GMO Project, which is an independent organization that awards its label to those that meet its standards. So when you see a non-GMO label, it has not been federally recognized, but it's been recognized through the Non-GMO Project. Bans GMO. Both the USDA's organic certified products and those carrying the non-GMO project label do not permit GMOs to be in any part of the product. Okay. Bans synthetic pesticides. I think we basically went over these. Let's see here. Let's go into this one by one because it goes more in depth than just that label that we went over. Ban synthetic pesticide. USDA standards require that only natural pest controls, such as predatory insects or OMRI listed insecticides, can be used on organic products. Non-GMO labeled products have no standard since it's entirely focused on the origins of the product, not the growing condition it faces. Bans hexane. Hexane is used in industrial farming to maximize the extraction of plant oils. It is not permitted for use on organic certified products because its residue can persist in the environment. Rules for non-GMO standards do not mention hexane usage. Do they ban antibiotics? Livestock producers often use antibiotics to grow larger animals. Their use is not permitted under organic rules. Non-GMO project standards probably do not allow for antibiotics, but their standards aren't entirely clear on this. Bans sewage sludge. Sewage sludge is used as a high nutrient fertilizer in industrial farm operation. This sludge can include waste products from humans and animals. Organic standards forbid its use, while non-GMO standards have no stance at all. Ban steroids. Organic meat producers cannot have used steroids to promote growth in livestock. The non-GMO movement focuses on how livestock is created, not how it develops after birth. Bans ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation is used to extend food shelf life while also killing microorganisms and pests. This process is not permitted under organic standards. As mentioned above, the non-GMO movement tries to prevent manipulation of a product before it begins growth, rather than processes applied during its development. Overall, there is nothing inherently wrong with the non-GMO movement. It is well-intentioned and advocates for the consumer. However, its exclusive focus on a product's origin actually makes it less inclusive than those labeled as USDA organic. The USDA label has a broader application, is legally binding, and fully enforceable by the federal government. The result, when compared to non-GMO label, USDA organic labeling better serves consumers. The soybeans used in food production are often GMOs. So, wow. So, Ahchwath, what do you all think about that? Sister Jeanette said, you. Yeah, I'm sure you're talking about the sludge. The human waste and the animal waste, right? What about crosswinds from GMO farmlands to their organic neighbors? Khan says that's why they're, Ahchwath Qala, that's why they're recommending that if you have a farm, that you talk to the potential neighbor and you all come to some form of agreement where if you are growing organic, that they're not growing GMOs that will cause cross-contamination with your product, because it will be difficult to avoid the cross-contamination should there be crosswinds from the GMO farmlands. Yes. What Carla said, they're taking credit from Ahayah's 6th day of work. They, you know what? They cannot take his credit. He's about to show them. A foolish nation. Khan says a foolish nation for sure. Shalawam Ahchwath. Shalawam. So that's article number 1. Let's see, where should we go from here? Give me just a second. Let's see, where are we going to go from here? So that was the GMO definition. All right, let me cross that off so I'll know that that's done. Where should we go from here? Let me see what this... I want to stay on the GMO roll here because, like I said, we have so many topics to go into. I know there's another one. Okay, here we go. So this one is going to be the top 13 GMO foods and ones to avoid that you may not know about. So let me bring this one up. So this one is from PaleoValley.com. And the top 13 GMO foods and ones to avoid that you may not know about. So this topic, this article is once again from PaleoValley.com. The top 13 GMO foods and ones to avoid that you may not know about. GMOs are omnipresent in our food supply today. They are the result of a laboratory process where genes from the DNA of one species, bacteria, viruses, animal, plants, humans, are extracted and artificially implanted into the genes of an unrelated plant or animal. But it says here human. So it's not just implanted, I'm sure, into the genes of an unrelated plant or animal, but obviously human. Okay. Despite the fact that there are currently 9 major GMO crops: soy, canola, cottonseed, sugar beets, corn, papaya, zucchini, alfalfa, it is estimated that they are found in over 70 to 80% of the foods in the United States due to their many derivatives. Did you all know that? 70 to 80% of the foods in the United States contain GMO? Who knew that? I didn't. I knew it was high, but if they're saying 70 to 80, then I'm thinking it's more probably like 80 to 90. That's where my mind is running, right? Is it higher? Okay. Despite the fact that biotech companies will tell you that GMOs are safe, there's much evidence to the contrary. In fact, animal studies associate GMO consumption with an increased risk of infertility, digestive distress, immune suppression, accelerated aging, and notable changes in certain major organs. Since GMOs were introduced into our food supply in 1996, rates of diseases like food allergies, autism, inflammatory bowel disease, and other digestive disorders have also risen significantly. In addition, there have been no long-term human studies on the safety of GMOs. Just in case you hadn't heard the latest in GMO shenanigans, glyphosate, the main ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup, has been deemed a probable carcinogen, which is a cancer-causing agent, by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, a branch of the World Health Organization. New evidence also suggests that corn-destroying rootworms have evolved to be resistant to the Bt corn, which is the Monsanto's other major GMO crop, engineered to kill them. In other words, GMOs can put your health at risk and at the same time harm the environment. Here are the top 13 GMO foods and ingredients to avoid from an article entitled "The Top 20 GMO Foods and Ingredients to Avoid" from the Global Healing Center. And there's a link here to read the full article. Let me see if this goes into, see how far this goes. Okay, so what I will do so you can read the full article is I am going to share this link in the box, in the comment box when we're done reading the list here. So aspartame, number one, aspartame. According to the EPA, aspartame is a chemical that causes neurotoxicity. Keep in mind that that's the United States Environmental Protection Agency, a government agency. Regardless, the FDA continues to rubber stamp its use. Aspartame is made from aspartate, methanol, and phenylalanine. Phenylalanine, it sounds like. Sorry for that. That's one of those chemical words, you know. They're never easy to pronounce. Once ingested, the body breaks aspartame down into these constituent parts. Most notably, methanol is converted into formaldehyde. The U.S. Department of Labor considers formaldehyde a toxic and hazardous substance that should not be ingested. Well, of course not. It's used for embalming. Recent research has demonstrated highly carcinogenic effects from aspartame consumption. Additional research could not dismiss aspartame's role in leukemia and non-Hodgkin's lymphomas. Entire books have been written about the dangers of aspartame. In the quest for healthy living, this toxic, lab-created chemical tops any list of food and ingredients to avoid. Number two, HFCS, high fructose corn syrup. First, HFCS is made from corn, which is likely to be a GMO strain. It then goes through a process that converts corn into cornstarch, which then is converted into corn syrup in a process involving bacterial enzymes and fungus. Finally, another bacteria enzyme is added to the process to produce fructose. This is not a natural process and does not yield a natural product. Mercury has been found in HFCS as a result of the manufacturing process. Does HFCS lead to health problems? Possibly. Researchers from Princeton and Oxford have linked HFCS to weight gain and type 2 diabetes. To summarize, HFCS starts as a GMO, contains mercury, and has been linked to weight gain and type 2 diabetes. Just avoid it. Soy. Soybeans are perhaps one of the most prevalent GMO products in fields today. Soy has been associated with a wide range of health problems, and GMO soy has been linked to pancreatic problems. Soy lecithin isn't even a choice soybean product. It's a waste product from the processing of crude soy oil. It typically contains solvents and pesticides. Researchers have also found soy lecithin to contain allergens that have wide-ranging health impacts. As a rule, avoid soy unless it is organic and fermented, such as miso or natto. And make sure to avoid anything containing soy lecithin, the soy product constructed from the sludgy glop created during the creation of soy oil. That sounds yummy. Number 4, cornstarch. Cornstarch is a highly processed corn product made from corn, genetically modified corn. It offers no nutritional value and carries all the dangers associated with GMO foods. It is used as an additive in many products, and as a processed food, it creates digestive problems. The problems with cornstarch have been known about since the 1970s. With the introduction of GMO corn, the problem have only increased. Number 5, tomatoes. When tested, genetically modified tomatoes have been found to have less antioxidant activity than their natural counterparts. As is the case with GMOs, the genetically modifications result in overall reduced nutritional value. Sausage. We're not concerned about this anyway. Most sausage contains corn syrup or corn syrup solids. I guess there are people out there that eat beef sausages or maybe turkey sausages, so this may apply. Most sausages contain corn syrup or corn syrup solids in addition to the other preservatives. That's right, the hot dog or Italian sausage you enjoy, even just once in a while, likely contains a GMO. If you choose to eat sausage of any type, avoid the prepackaged kind. Your best bet is to purchase from a local butcher who specializes in locally grown, organic, free-range meats. So there you go. Don't buy any beef sausages or any turkey sausages unless you go to the butcher and make sure that it's organic. Ice cream. This delicious summertime treat typically features a range of HFCS, corn syrup and cornstarch plus RGBH. Unless the brand you buy is organic or homemade from organic ingredients, each spoonful of ice cream likely contains plenty of genetically modified DNA and bovine, which is cow, growth hormones. Wow. Number 8, non-organic and synthetic vitamins. Many vitamins, including top children's vitamins, use vegetable, quote unquote, products as a base for the vitamin. Many of these quote unquote vegetables come from corn and soy products. Many also contain aspartame and hydrogenated oils. Look for vitamins that are specifically organic or non GMO. Wow, wow, wow. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Number 9, infant formula. Milk that contains RGBH and genetically modified soy constitute the foundation for most infant formulas, unless they specifically state they are organic. Research has found that infant diets, including formulas that contain these GMOs, contribute to chronic long-term health conditions. Number 10, beef. Beef feed may contain GMO alfalfa, corn, and soy. When cows eat GMOs, they get into their system and become part of the meat. If you're going to eat beef, only consume organic grass-fed beef. Number 11, milk. Why let nature do things naturally when Monsanto recombinant bovine growth hormones can be injected right cows, they must mean right into cows to increase milk output. Never mind that hormones associated with RBGH have been found present in milk distributed for human consumption, or that studies have also found milk from cows injected with RGBH contain reduced amount of healthy fatty acids, or that these cows are more likely to have mastitis and other infection that can lead to blood and pus in the milk. I agree. Yuck. You can buy organic milk or goat milk and avoid bovine growth hormones. However, to keep all bovine growth hormones out of the diet, you also need to watch out for foods that contain milk products, as these may come from hormone-injected cows. Number 12, vegetable oil. Vegetable oil typically comes from corn, soybean, cotton, or canola oils. All of these crops have been genetically modified to withstand being doused by Roundup. Unless the vegetable oil states it is organic, assume it may contain some degree GMOs. Number 13, canola oil. Canola oil gets its own category due to its prevalent use. Aside from questions about an oil made from a plant toxic to human consumption, the rapeseed has been genetically altered. As of 2009, 90% of Canada's rapeseed crop was herbicide tolerant. When it comes to cooking oils, the best option is to find products specifically designated as non-GMO. Number 14, flax. GMO flax has been grown illegally, for what it's worth, in Canada. The extent of Canadian contamination has not yet been determined. Reports also indicate that the genetically modified flax has been exported around the world where contamination has occurred. Because of the environmental catastrophe of this rogue GM strain, rogue GMO strain. Identify the source of the flax used before you buy. Flax from Canada may be infected, as well as from many areas of the EU. So the author says, my take on this. Avoiding GMOs is paramount to attaining vibrant health. As you can see from the list above, this isn't always as easy as you'd hope. Eliminating the 9 major GMO crops, corn, soy, cottonseed, canola, alfalfa, sugar beets, zucchini, squash, and papaya isn't enough. In order to keep GMOs out of your diet, it is important to become familiar with any and all GMO derivatives, as they are just as likely to wreak havoc on your health. Because our country does not require GMO labeling, opting for organic foods is the best way to avoid them completely. GMO Project verified foods are also a great option. However, whatever you do, just stay vigilant and avoid GMOs at all costs. It is a great idea to communicate this avoidance of GMOs to those from whom you purchase your food. Making GMO foods a liability is one important step that could lead to dramatic changes in our food supply. You have more power than you think. Be proud to buy organic, protect yourself, your friends, and your family from GMOs. And that is what we are doing today, Ahchwath. Knowledge is power. Let me get this link. Knowledge is power. Let me put this link here. Wow, that's a link. Good grief. It's a pretty lengthy link. Did it go through twice, or is that oh, it went through twice. Never mind. But isn't that amazing? Knowledge is definitely power. We need to know these things so that we can take better care of our health. I mean, the enemy is really busy, isn't he? This enemy is so busy. He is setting traps in every area of our lives to get us sick, to keep us sick. And really the end result that he's looking to do is to eliminate us, right? That's his plan. I mean, why would it be necessary to create a whole other species of fruits and vegetables when the Most High did that already? He did that already. Why do I need a GMO fruit when the Most High created the perfect fruit, the perfect vegetable, the perfect animal? Who are these people? Whew, let's keep it moving. Let us keep it moving. Let's see, where shall we go next? Who is learning some stuff here? Who is learning some stuff? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Next. Let me see. Where shall we embark on next? Here we go. The environmental risk. Oh, here's an excellent one. This is, wow, this I am definitely going to have to add the link in the box here, because this is actually a court document. This is a court document. Let me share this. This is the environmental risks of genetically engineered fish. And as you can see here, this was a hearing before the Subcommittee of Oceans, Atmosphere, Fisheries, and Coast Guard of the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, the United States. The 112th Congress, first session. This was from December 15, 2011. And let me share this link, because this is, I'm not going to be able to read through this entire thing, but I'm going to try and bring out the highlights that I found when I was going through this. This is something that you will want to read whenever you get some time. So let me scroll through this and go to the areas. And like I said, this is a court document here from a hearing. This is the formalities. Okay, let me start off with so you can get the gist of it. It says, this is the opening statement of Honorable Mark Bezoh, Beezoh. I have, my screen is across the room, so I am trying to focus there. But let's see. This is the opening statement of the U.S. Senator from Alaska. And he says, Senator is it Begich? Beach. Thank you very much. Thanks for being patient. I apologize. We were notified last night that we would have our 9th Circuit judge up this morning. So we had to go down and put that on the record this morning at 10:30. And I apologize for the delay. Welcome to the Senate. Nothing's on time and nothing's scheduled, but yet we have a schedule. Okay, so thank you all very much. Thank you very much, and welcome to the hearing. And again, thank you for being patient while I got here. And I know other members may attend as we move through the hearing this morning. All right. Usually, when we have a hearing about fish, we're considering the economic and environmental aspects of taking fish out of the ocean. Today, we are here to talk about the economic and environmental impacts of adding a completely new type of fish that was created in a laboratory into our oceans. As I speak, the Food and Drug Administration is considering a landmark decision whether to allow the fish, the first genetically engineered animal, to be produced and sold for human consumption. This animal has been created in a lab by mixing the genes from 3 separate fish species. The result is a genetically engineered Atlantic salmon that is said to grow much faster than the regular Atlantic salmon. The company calls the lab-created fish Aqua Advantage salmon. Others have given the nickname Frankenfish. Whatever you call it, When we are talking about this genetically engineered fish, we are talking about the entire future of wild fish and fisheries. The stakes are high. If these fish were to get out into the wild, they could wreak untold havoc on our marine and freshwater ecosystem. Although the company that has created the fish says that they have taken precautions to make sure the fish don't escape, the prudent and responsible approach for us to take here is to assume that the fish will escape. We have plenty of examples where non-native fish have escaped into the wild and wreaked environmental havoc. Did anyone know about that? Look at the huge economic and environmental impacts from the uncontrolled spread of the Asian carp in the Great Lakes region. We have been trying to contain the spread of these fish for over a decade with little success. The lesson that we should take from this and other examples is that non-native fish can and will get out into the wild. And once they are out, they are impossible to contain. Now think about genetically engineered fish that have only existed in labs and have never existed in the wild. As you can imagine, it's very difficult to assess the environmental impacts from fish that have never existed before now. And the FDA is now asked to carry out the impossible task of trying to assess the food safety and environmental impact of genetically engineered fish. We leave it to the Food and Drug Administration to assess the food safety aspects, but I'm not convinced that this agency has the scientific expertise to adequately assess the environmental aspects. So these were the concerns that were brought up. Let me go further and see if I can find what the impact has been. So it goes into a number of questions are pertinent when considering the environmental hazards of genetically engineered salmon. So here are GE salmons able to escape into the environment? If an accidental escape occurred, could GE salmon survive in the surrounding environment and compete with wild salmon and escaped domestic non-transgenic salmon, or otherwise impact natural or ecological resources of global importance? Could the rDNA construct be transmitted to wild salmon, escaped non-GE domesticated salmon, or other species? So these are the questions that they were asking when they were talking about, allowing these so-called fish out of the laboratory. I want to find, it's so wordy. It's so wordy. I want to find the impact. Oops. Give me. Okay, here we go. You know, this is it's a wordy and lengthy document, but wow, I wish there was a way that I could have marked where the outcome was of these fish. That the bottom line was that these genetically engineered salmon, what ended up happening was that they realized that they ate so much more than the natural salmon. And they grew twice as fast and twice as big as the natural salmon. And what started happening, and I really want to read it because I don't want to misspeak, if I should say that, is that they created danger. They became a danger to the natural salmon. They became a danger once they got out because they did escape and became, let's see, unlike, these are talking about pathogens and disease transmission. Okay, let's see here. Could potentially, in some, GE salmon could potentially damage already struggling wild salmon populations through competition for food and habitat, pathogen and disease transmission, disruption or of reproduction and interbreeding. If such impacts come to pass, they could have real world and far-reaching impact on people, industries, and the environment. So they were bringing out all of the potential problems that can occur should these frankenfish get into the wild. So let me just keep scrolling because I know there's a section that says that their fears basically came to pass. That the fears that these fish, these frankenfish, did get out. Let me keep moving. Like I said, this is such a lengthy and wordy article, but it's worth the read because once you get into it, you will see what the potential dangers were and what the outcome was. Let me just put it that way. So I am going to share this link, and in your spare time, this is another article to go over about the environmental risks of genetically engineered fish. There we go. So there's that article. Like I said, we're going. We have plenty of articles to go through tonight. So I myself, I skimmed through that article. I didn't read every single section, but like I said, the outcome is there, and yeah. They are creating Frankenfish. Let's see, where do we go from here now? What's the next article? Let's talk about the seedless fruits and vegetables. Let's talk about those. This article is Seedless Fruits and Vegetables. How does that happen? So I think we've gone over the definition of GMOs and what foods and vegetables are most likely GMOs. But here's another label that we see often that we never saw back, at least back in the day. Every fruit that I ate had seeds. And what was the problem with biting into a fruit and just spitting the seeds out? And I remember when the seedless grapes, when I think those were the first, yes, those were the first fruits that I saw that were seedless. And people were using, the excuse, oh, it's so much more convenient. You don't have to spit these seeds out. And in the beginning, it was like, oh yeah, this is cool. You don't have to spit all these seeds out and so on. But then once you got to know more about it, you realize that it had absolutely nothing to do with the inconveniences of biting into a seed. It just goes much deeper than that, right? So let's talk about seedless fruits and vegetables and how it happens. How do they come to be? What process do they go through in order to be seedless? To become seedless, what goes on? So here's an article from Piedmont Master Gardeners, sharing knowledge, empowering communities. Seedless fruits and vegetables, how does that happen? If flowering plants have evolved to complete their full life cycle and generate seed to continue the species, how can seedless fruits and vegetables exist? And how can they continue to be grown year in and year out without producing seeds? That's a good question. That was my question. What's going on here? My first thought is they're doing something in a lab. They're cooking something up in a lab. But let's go into it and see what is going on here. There are a few different forces at work. Let's review a bit of science, some natural processes, and the human interventions that are behind the growing of some of the seedless fruits and vegetables that we all enjoy. Not we all. No, we don't all enjoy them because we don't all eat them. The science. Normally, a fruit forms after pollination of a flowering plant when the female ovary is fertilized by male pollen. So these are important. This is important, right? To know the natural process. Normally, a fruit forms after pollination of a flowering plant when the female ovary sounds like us, right? The Most High created us, man and woman. And this was the process that he had us go through in order to have offsprings, right? The female ovary, the egg, is fertilized by a male pollen, the sperm, right? So the plants go through the same process. Fertilization causes seed development. The fruit is actually the ovary that swells around the seed. Natural genetic mutations may cause fruit to develop in some plants without fertilization and therefore without producing seeds. This characteristic development of fruit without fertilization is called parthenocarpy. I didn't see that in the Bible. I didn't see that. The Most High talks about seeds. Bottom line, today's seedless fruits and vegetables started with this natural mutation, followed by human recognition that seedlessness was an attractive trait. Then humans found ways to propagate that plant to preserve that characteristic. So Ahchwath Yam, what I am hearing is, because remember when we go back to the Garden of Eden, right? There was that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? Because when the Most High created everything, he said he saw it and it was good. He created everything with seed. So if now we have these plants that are producing, they're saying naturally, that they are naturally producing seedless fruit, then that was not of the Most High. And we know, just as the enemy planted that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, couldn't he have planted these as well? So that today we are eating from those fruits thinking that those were created by the Most High. But that's why we have to always go back to the Bible. The Bible did not give us any information about parthenocarpy. We always have to go back to the Bible. So now they're saying that today, then humans found ways to propagate that plant to preserve that characteristic. So the enemy, of course, gives them the knowledge to continue what he did. Seedlessness has several attractive features, according to this article. Seedless oranges, grapes, and watermelons are less messy, here we go, and more enjoyable to eat, according to who? Eliminating cucumber seeds eases digestion issues for many people, and seedlessness lengthens shelf life since seeds tend to encourage the fruit's deterioration and hasten their dispersal into the world. So they know better than the Most High, right? Because seeds draw nutrients from the plant, seedlessness can affect fruit characteristics like nutrients, sugar content, size, and time to maturity. These characteristics are typically improved over time by breeders. Let's look at some examples. The seedless oranges we eat today derive from a seedless tree discovered by farmers in a Brazilian orange grove in the 1870s. It just sprung up back in the 1870s. There it was. You know, they sent tree cut-ins to the USDA, which propagated the trees through grafting and rooting practices, starting the seedless navel orange boom in the United States. 1870s? Today, seedless orange trees are grafted descendants of the original seedless tree, in essence, clones. Listen to this, clones from that one tree. I mean, if that tree occurred naturally, according to like what they're saying, that tree that they found back in the 1870s just occurred naturally, why is it now that people have to continue the process in order to allow the species to continue? Why do we have to clone that tree? Shouldn't there have been a whole bunch of other seedless orange trees back in the 1870s and not just that one? Okay, that's my question. Today, seedless orange trees are grafted descendants of the original seedless orange tree. In essence, clones. When groves of these clone trees are formed and are self-pollinated, seedless oranges are the result. However, if a bee picks up pollen from a seeded orange tree in a neighboring grove and cross-pollinates a seedless tree, seeds will develop. So it takes both the parthenocarpic characteristic and self-pollination to produce seedless oranges. Seedless grapes have a similar but even longer history. They were originally discovered about 6,000 BC. Oh my gosh, we can't make this stuff up. They were originally discovered about 6,000 BC in the Mediterranean region. The seedless fruit appeared spontaneously and was recognized and was propagated vegetatively through grafting and rooted cuttings. Once again, another tree that just showed up spontaneously and then required help by cloning in order to continue this species to grow. With grapes, there are two different groups that we call seedless. One is parthenocarpic, meaning that the fruits develop without fertilization. The other is called stenospermocarpic, where fertilization actually occurs, but seed development aborts, and soft seed traces are left in the fruit. Stenospermocarpic varieties have the advantage of growing full-size fruit, while the parthenocarpic, truly seedless grape tends to be smaller. Let's talk about the bananas. Seedless bananas have a similar history going back several thousand years. Seedlessness started as a natural mutation from a heavily seeded wild banana. From heavily seeded wild bananas, We tend to think of bananas as a tree fruit, but actually they are herbaceous perennial that is propagated vegetatively by transplanting side shoots or suckers from the main plant. Selected breeding over many years have developed the sweet, seedless fruit we enjoy today. Bananas highlight the risks of cloning in this fashion. Through the 1990s until the 1950s, through the 1900s until the 1950s, the predominant banana cultivar that was imported into the U.S. was called Gros Macal. Its lack of diversity made it susceptible to a Fusarium fungus called Panama disease that destroyed banana plants in all growing regions. It was replaced with a disease-resistant variant called Cavendish, which now accounts for about 97% of banana exports. Unfortunately, there's a new variant of Panama disease called Tropical Race 4, TR4, that is harming Cavendish plants in several growing countries. The Cavendish banana is at risk. Breeders are working to develop replacements. While bananas are not currently genetically modified organism fruits, the banana problem has raised an important question whether a genetic modification is a logical way to provide disease resistance while maintaining parthenocarpic traits and adding biodiversity. Wow, wow, wow. Then there's pineapples. Pineapples are similar to bananas in that they are herbaceous perennial members of the bromeliad family. Each segment of the exterior of the fruit produces a flower. Pineapples are called a syncarp, meaning that multiple flowers fuse into a single fruit. However, they are seedless because they are self-incompatible. This means that when a single pineapple variety is grown, isolated from other varieties, and self-pollinates, fertilization does not occur. The plants are propagated vegetatively through root division, budding, and runners. Cucumbers. Cucumbers and some squashes are different than the previous examples. For one thing, they are annual plants that must be grown from seed every year. Parthenocarpy is induced into cucumbers in multiple ways. Breeders have developed hybrids that are naturally parthenocarpic and grow fruits without fertilization. Also, parthenocarpy can be induced by applying growth hormones and pollen extracts. So now our cucumbers are getting growth hormones. To grow seedless fruits, female flowers of parthenocarpic varieties are covered or grown in greenhouses where pollination is prevented. So we're preventing the Most High's natural process by hiding them in greenhouses. Interestingly, the small tender seeds that exist in some seedless cukes are viable and will germinate into productive plants. Then, of course, there's the watermelon. Seedless watermelons have different propagation process. Watermelon seed fertility is affected by varying the number of chromosomes in the seed cell. Normal watermelons have 22 chromosomes, 11 coming from the ovary in the female flower, and 11 from the male pollen. In 1939, a Japanese plant scientist determined that treating the leading end of young vines with a chemical called colchicine doubled the number of chromosomes in the plant to 44. When the female flowers from the plant are pollinated by pollen from a plant with the normal 22 chromosome, the resulting plants have 33 chromosomes. The plants with 33 chromosomes produce fruit with a hard-shelled seed that are collected and sold to produce seedless melons. When pollinated with pollen from a 22 chromosome variety, the result is melons with the soft white seed traces that are the seedless melons we enjoy. This multi-step process for growing seedless watermelons is obviously quite expensive. It accounts for the higher prices for seedless versus seeded watermelons. However, since introduction to the United States market in the 1990s, seedless watermelon breeders have steadily improved melon taste, and consumers have steadily increased consumption. Currently, over 90% of commercial watermelon sales are seedless. Clearly, they are here to stay. So look at the process that is by using, let's use the watermelon, for example, where they are actually interrupting the natural process that the Most High said this is the way that fruits are supposed to be grown. This is the way that watermelons are supposed to be grown. And this Japanese scientist took it upon himself to change the number of chromosomes. If people do not think that this is a problem, then I don't know what to tell them. Because with everything that's going on right now with the transhumanism and the this, that, and the other, this is where we are headed. My opinion, that's all I can speak of, is that this is where we are headed with humans. This right here. With chromosomes being tampered with. The way that the Most High created us to have a certain number of chromosomes for the male and the female. Now we have scientists who think that they know better than the Most High, than Ahayah. And so they get to turn fruits that the Most High said is to be seeded into seedless varieties. And they think that this is better than the Most High's creation. So whoever thinks that that a seedless watermelon is better than the Most High's creation, then I don't know what to tell you when you go and eat these franken fruit that are being developed. Because what you put into your body is what you become. You are what you eat. You are what you consume. I'm going to share this article as well. There's so much. Oh my goodness. There's just so many articles. What have you got to say about about what we have delved into thus far? It's a lot, and there's a lot more. There's a lot more that we have to uncover. And I hope that you all are saving these links to these articles. It's a lot to go into in just one sit-in, and that's why I'm sharing these links, because we need to know what we're putting in our bodies. We need to know what's out there, because none of this stuff, if we put them into our bodies, the outcome is not going to be good. Bottom line. Sis, Ahchwath Alicia, they are making it difficult to find any fruits with seeds. I mean, it's the grapes, the watermelons, now the citrus fruits, the oranges. I am so craving an orange with seeds, but I can't get an orange. I can't. I you go into the store, even the ones that say organic are seedless. They're seedless. It's I'm telling you, we are closer to the end than we know. We are really close to the end because the Most High is not going to continue to sit back and just, you know, let this happen to his earth, his world that he created. He is not. So Ahchwath, I'm going to take a brief break and come back. We've got a lot more information to go into. We'll take a short break and I will be right back. Let me put my banner up here. Sorry.
She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. She ruled royalty. She's got the fruits of the Spirit.
All right, we are back, Ahchwath. Let's see what comments we have here. Let's see, where are we? We are definitely in the beginning of a famine. Khan, confetti in the sky. Khan, yes, we are. Yes, we are. The lemons, Khan, Ahchwath Alicia, yes. Yes, the lemons also seedless. Khan. I mean, this has really gotten out of hand. Soon there's what are we going to eat? So it is so necessary that we start now, right? While there are still fruit that have seeds, we definitely need to start saving these seeds, these organic fruit seeds. And because we're going to have to have our own gardens, because soon you will not be able to go into a store and find a real fruit or vegetable. The next, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years, it seems like, because this stuff is really, it is really ramping up. It really is. So let's get rid of that article. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Let's see what else. Do I have anything else on seed? I think we've covered. There was another article about seeded versus seedless watermelons. Let me just take a quick look at this and see. This is a short article, so let's go through this. Khan, Ahchwath Alicia, pray over our food. Man, remove any harmful elements that can cause sickness or disease. Khan. I pray that over everything, asking the Most High to just remove anything that is harmful. Seeded versus seedless watermelon. So let's talk about this. It says here, and this is Willie Street Co-op. This was from September 2019 by Mickey Ellen Becker, who was the purchasing assistant. Okay. When given a choice between a seeded versus seedless watermelon, many people will opt for the seedless. Seeds are generally considered annoying and messy and make you feel like you're bringing rude behavior to the kitchen table with all that spitting. However, there's been a resurgence for the desire of seeded fruits, and watermelons seem to be one of the trend leaders. The driving force behind the demand for seeds are vitamins, minerals, fats, and proteins that have been pushed aside by eliminating the seed. So they wanted us to believe that the seed was just basically for fertilization, for, something that we can do away with. Besides that, there was no other reason to have seeds. They never talked about the nutritional value of these seeds, right? So I'm glad this article is going into that. The Most High, man, everything that he made has purpose. Every single thing that he made has purpose. And when he said, he looked at his creation and he said it was good, everything was perfect, just the way he made it. and he made everything with purpose. So look at this. Look at what they try to eliminate. The driving force behind the demand for seeds are vitamins, minerals, fats, and proteins that have been pushed aside by eliminating the seeds. But I wanted to compare the two options. So I talked with the co-op's longstanding expert watermelon grower, Steve Pincus of Tippy Produce, to help me hash it all out. As I mentioned above, watermelon seeds have nutritional value. They are a good source of magnesium, phosphorus, copper, and zinc, and also contain B vitamins, essential fatty acids, and amino acids. The capacity in which you consume the seeds will certainly affect how much you absorb from them, though. Like most seeds, you'll maximize your nutrient load by saving and sprouting the seeds. I know, this sounds intense, but might be worth trying. Might be worth trying it just for the experience. Or you can just chew them. If you swallow them whole, they'll likely pass through you without much nutrient benefits at all. Does this make a seedless watermelon inferior and how it is grown? The flesh of the fruit and the rind, for that matter, is also nutritious. So both seeded and seedless still have great health benefits. Watermelon is a good source of potassium and is 91% water, making it great for hydration. The red color of the flesh comes from the antioxidant lycopene, and watermelon has the highest levels of any other fruit or vegetable. Lycopene has a range of health benefits, including protection against sunburn and particular types of cancer. There is also research showing that the amino acid citrulline, which watermelon is one of the best sources for, supports good cardiovascular health and reduces blood pressure. It's also a source of vitamin C, vitamin A, and B6. Seedless watermelon is not genetically modified food. It is a result of crossbreeding. The male pollen of a watermelon contains 22 chromosomes, is crossed with the female watermelon flower, which has been chemically altered to contain 44 chromosomes, which is what we just talked about, or what we just read in the previous article. The result is a watermelon with 33 chromosomes, and the tiny white seed husk don't mature into fertile seeds and therefore is sterile. Look at this. Even the fruits they're making sterile. Even the fruits. Now we have sterile fruits. Another example often used to illustrate this point is crossbreeding a horse with a donkey to produce a sterile mule. See where this is going? The enemy is never satisfied. Is never satisfied. If you're going to do this to the fruits and vegetables and the animals, who do you think is next? And we already know what's being done to the people. We already know this because the enemy is never satisfied. Oh my goodness, let's just keep it moving. Does one taste better than the other? Some people are dedicated followers to seeded or seedless solely based on flavor, but I think most can agree that they've had good and not so good versions of just about any kind of fruit. I will make the argument that it has a lot more to do with an item being in peak season and grown on healthy soil by an experienced farmer that knows their varieties. Let's see. TP Produce. Let's talk about TP Produce. Enter watermelon super farmer Steve Pincus of TP Produce. In the eyes of the produce staff here at the co-op, there is no better expert to talk about watermelons. Steve has been growing watermelons for at least 40 years and has been selling it to the co-op for about 30 years. Steve recently described the TP co-op relationship as such. We are like an old married couple, steady, productive, and still in love. He personally handpicks each watermelon that leaves his field with the support of a crew to wash and pack them as they go, and aims for ideal ripeness. I've always enjoyed watermelons, but it wasn't until I started eating watermelon from Steve's farm that I became watermelon obsessed. Now I pretty much only eat it when he has available and eat a lot of it. Healthy soil. Watermelon and pretty much all other food is only as nutritious as the soil it is grown in. Correct. And that's why even our soil is depleted of so much of the nutrients. And oh my goodness. Let's stick with the article. And our local organic farmers are constantly working to build soil health. Healthy soil is the key to healthy plants and resiliency. And as long as the weather doesn't throw a wrench in things, also great tasting food. Steve and his wife Beth have been farming organically on their current farm since 2002, and they've been building up soil health ever since, with noticeable improvements year after year. He has invested a lot into his soils, including compost, mineral, and soil amendments, cover crops, and organic matter from his own property, such as leaves. Why does Steve grow seeded watermelons? Well, the truth is he grows mostly seeded watermelons, but dabbles in a small quantity of seedless to remain informed. When he first started farming, seedless watermelon varieties were bland and didn't hold a candle to the flavor and sweetness of seeded varieties. That is correct. Today, all the breeding research is going into seedless varieties, and there are almost no new seeded varieties being released into the market. Steve acknowledges that the breeding has greatly improved in the 10 to 15 years, and there are good seedless varieties available now. But he sees the high demand for seedless a bit differently at this point. By growing the older seeded varieties that are less prevalent, he has a more unique product to offer. And with his decades of experience and his continued dedication to healthy soil, you can be confident that you're getting both a nutritious and delicious watermelon. So this farmer that has been growing watermelons for 40 years realizes that there are people out here like us who still want and still need seeded fruits, seeded watermelons. That we don't want the seedless stuff that's out there, whatever that is that they're growing. So it's good to know that there are still a few farmers out there that, that are taken into consideration, not where the market trend is going as far as financially, but health-wise as well, because they went into all of the nutritional value of the seeds. This isn't just about money, it's about nutrition as well. So I don't know where this farmer is at. I do not know. Let's see. This is Madison, Wisconsin. So okay, here we go. He's in Wisconsin. Okay. So there it is. Seeded versus seedless watermelons. Seeded watermelons are tastier. Of course, they're the real deal. So let us see what other, let see, where do we go from here? Let's see, how many more articles do I have? Wow. We have 9 more articles, Ahchwath. So I have 9 more articles, and I am going to ask for your help here. With that being said, it's already 8:18. Let us do a part 2 next week. All in favor of a part 2 next week, give me a thumbs up. Because like I said, there are just so many articles, and so let me let you know what articles we still have remaining. There's the article about the toxic chocolate. There's an article about the human feces pill. Yep, you heard right. Natural flavors. Should you eat them? Another article, what does natural flavors mean on food labels? So we're going to go into the natural flavors and what they mean. And there's a process that they're using to, quote unquote, help food last longer, fruits and vegetables last longer. It's called a peel. There's an article on that. Let's see. We've already, there's an article, 8 tips, which is one of the last articles that I will go over, 8 tips on how to avoid GMO foods. Let's see what else. What can we learn from the successes and failures of other non-conventional foods? So we'll go over what these non-conventional foods are and what we can learn about the successes and failures of those. And then there are the videos that I mentioned that I will not be able to show on YouTube. And it's in reference to certain things that are being put in the food, in our food, that the author already, they put the disclaimer out there that although everything that they mention in these videos, there's a part 1 and part 2, that they're getting their source straight from the FDA and so on and so forth. But although that's the case, they still cannot, their videos have been banned from YouTube. So these are some very interesting videos. So I am going to post the link to these videos on my Google Groups page. So if you are not a member of my Google Groups, please send me an email and I will add you to the Google Groups. Send me an email to ShebrewRoyaltyBiz@gmail.com, and I will send you, I will be posting these videos. So Ahchwath, next week, continue next week. I see a thumbs up from Confetti in the Sky. Shalawam Faye. You said, I live outside of the USA where all of the fruits are seeded. Praise the Most High. Oh my gosh. I have seeds all over my kitchen because I keep the seeds. I have seeds from orange, lime, lemon, papaya, soursop trees, watermelon, etc. Faye, you are going to have to save some of those seeds for me because we're talking about tropical fruits. We're talking about, man, I need to make a trip. Faye, I need to make a trip and come and see you and get some of those fruits, first of all, and get some of those seeds. So we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking really soon, Faye. I need a trip. I need a trip. Bring that out, the natural flavors. Khan. Yeah, Aqua Jeanette, sis, the human feces pill. Yes, we are going to go into that. You know, we can't make this stuff up, man. Cannot make this stuff up. So yes, because it's so much. If it was one or two more articles, then I would keep it going. But because we have 9 more articles, and these are, we went over the topics, and they go deep into the topic in these articles. So we're going to have a part 2 next week. The natural flavor topic, Khan. Yes. So next week is part 2 of eating healthy in a GMO world. And now we're seeing it's even more than the GMO, right? It's the seedless, it's the natural flavors, it's the human feces pill. It's oh my gosh. Yes, we had the genetically engineered salmon. And so, Ahchwath, you all have those articles that we went over tonight. So you have this week to go through the bulk of those articles and be prepared for next week's part 2. So that's what we'll do. The water for helping me out, Ahchwath. So that being said, next week's show was supposed to be, are we killing ourselves to save our life? But we're going to, like we said, have part 2 next week. The week after that, are we killing ourselves to save our life? And even the topics that we are going over tonight, just this topic about the GMO and the natural flavors and so on and so forth, many people are eating these foods thinking that, well, I have to eat in order to live, right? But in the process of eating some of these foods, are we killing ourselves to save our lives? What we think is saving our lives. So that and some of the other choices that we're making in our lives we're going to realize that these choices that we are making, that we think are to save our lives, are actually killing us. So that's the following week's topic. We've got some great shows lined up. Some incredible shows lined up. So let's talk about music of the week. Music of the week. Who listened to music of the week? Who listened? Last week, well, the week before last, because last week, we know what happened, was Fred and the Genius Ahayah, his playlist. Did anyone have anything to say about it? I mean, I love Fred's music. I really do. His music is always just so uplifting. It's always so uplifting. I love his music. So, yeah, last week's music, well, 2 weeks ago. I keep saying last week's because I'm so accustomed to being on here weekly. But that was an excellent playlist. Like I said, his music is simply amazing. And all of our truth music, our brothers and sisters in this truth, the talent, the salt of the earth, it's unmatched out there. Unmatched. Faye says, it is done. We think alike. I will definitely get you some. Sis, thank you so much. Yes, but I need a trip. I truly need a trip. So we're going to talk about not just the seeds, but me coming out and sitting there and eating some of that wonderful fruit, and us catching up. We haven't been able to catch up. It's been too many years. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll talk. So Ahchwath Alicia says, my favorite artist, praising Ahayah by His Son Yashaya Warawat Kadash Khan. Yes, he is amazing. Khan says his music is amazing. Yes. So the music of the week, because music is just so healing and therapeutic, and especially truth music, right? Because of the positive message, it just keeps you focused, first of all, your mindset on the Most High, which is where we need to be, because the Most High said we are to meditate on his word day and night. And it doesn't mean that we go sit on the floor in the lotus position and hum and all of that. Meditating on his word day and night is to constantly have his word either playing in our ears, reading. When in conversation, we should always have time to talk about him and his greatness, his love, his mercy, his kindness, his grace, his long suffering. That's what meditating on his word is about. And when we listen to this music, when we're in our car going from point A to point B and just listening to that truth music, it keeps us in a positive mindset. Even when we're at work sometimes, just having a little music playing, if you're able to, playing, in the background. It doesn't have to be loud, just, put it on low, but it changes the atmosphere. So that's why I thought about the music of the week, is to give us, a playlist each week of, and for some of us to be exposed to some of these artists that we may not be familiar with. Everyone is not familiar with Fred and the Genius Ahayah, but once you start listening to the music and you subscribe to that channel, and like I mentioned, not just subscribe and listen, but give a little donation if they have a page where you are able to make a donation, because a lot of these brothers and sisters are making music, and they're not out there selling them for a whole bunch of money. They have it on YouTube for our enjoyment. And let's just show our appreciation for their gifts and talents. So this week's music of the week, and I am going to share their playlist, is our sisters TTK. TTK. Let me get this up here. Where are we? I have a TTK playlist. Let me share the link. Here is their playlist. And I am going to play a little clip from one of their songs on the playlist. But let me do this first. Let me cover my bases. Fair use for educational purposes only. This is just a snippet. Let's see, which song? Here's one. I don't think I've heard this one, but I think you all will, just by the title. Let me, where is it? Okay, it took me into, hold on. Okay, I clicked on the song, but it took me into the page. Give me just a second. This song that I'm trying to get to is called Sisterly Love. But when I click on it, oh, here we go. Yes. Give me just a second. Okay, this one is called, like I said, Sisterly Love. And I am just going to play a little snippet of this song. This is Sisterly Love by TTK, and fair use for educational purposes only.
I wrote this verse for the whole world to see how much my sisters truly mean to me. See, we are not just friends with family. I praise the Father for this unity. All I'm really trying to say is that I thank God for you. I want to tell you what you mean to me. I gotta show you what you mean to me. You know, all I'm really trying to say is that there's nothing something that I would not do for you. Yeah, you know why? My sisters, I love you. Pray for you. Adore you. It's what you mean to me. What you mean
This is
to
beautiful.
me. My sisters, I love you. Pray for you. Adore you. It's what you mean to me. What you mean to me. What would I do without my sisters? I thank the Most High that I got them. Thank the Most High that I can call them.
I can relate.
I know I can count on them. Oh yes, I never knew a sisterly love so true. That we walk with Yashaya and all that we do.
I'm loving this song.
Here are your fellow sister in this walk with Christ. I'm with you. You kick my walls down with your love, your wisdom and hugs fill my cup. I cannot say it enough. Sister, I love you.
Wow.
I love you, sister. I thank God for you.
Wow. That was a beautiful surprise. I did not know. I've heard, a few of their songs, but I had not heard this one. And this really sums up how I feel about this sisterhood. Wow. So we're going to be playing this song at our tea party, right? I think this is going to be the opening song. This is going to be our little mantra. I am loving this song. Yes, I found our theme song for Tea Time with Sheba Royalty Summer Tea Party. This is going to be our theme song. All right. So, like I said, I put the link in the box, in the comment box for the playlist. All of their music is on Spotify. Okay, so we need to make a showing on Spotify and show them some love. Show TTK some love. That's our sisters right there. And they're showing us some love. We need to show them some love. Khan. I love that. All right. So let me take this banner down now, this fair use banner. Let's get rid of that. Khan. So that's what we have to look forward to this week coming up. The music of the week, TTK, their playlist. Like I said, the link is right there in the comment box. And let's just blast this music all week long. Let's show them some love. Speaking of theme songs, our Tea Time with Sheba Royalty beginning of summer tea party is coming up. Only 2 weeks, Ahchwath, 14 days. And we're going to be partying, right? We are going to be having such a spectacular time. Oh my gosh, I thank you all. The water. I don't know how to say thank you enough for the showing of love that I have received by you all showing up and showing out, by purchasing your tickets and bringing friends and family members that are not in the truth for an introduction to who we are, to our sisterhood, right? So let me pop this flyer up here on the screen, because tonight at midnight is supposed to be the final payment is due, because We have to take care of the venue tomorrow. They want their money 2 weeks in advance so they can prepare to have enough food for the event. So let's get those payments in if you're still on the fence. And also, if you really do want to come, but there's some issues, and give me a call. My number is on the flyer. Let's see what we can work out, because we don't want any of our sisters left behind, left out of this event, because it is seriously going to be an amazing and spectacular event. Let me get this flyer up here. Give me just a second. Yes. All right, here it is. Let's party. Tea Time with Sheba Royalty, Summer Tea Party. This is the second annual, 2023. June 4th, which is Sunday, 2 Sundays from today at 10 a.m. So of course oh my goodness, that Sunday we won't be having a broadcast, because we're going to all be together live. Yes, we will. No broadcast that Sunday, June 4th. But we may just go live from the event. We may just do that for a moment. So we will be at the clubhouse at Rancho Solano, and that's at 3250 Rancho Solano Parkway in Fairfield. And there's my email address, shebaroyaltybiz@gmail.com. There's my name, Qala Yakachaa. There's the phone number that you can reach me at, 707-639-2787. And of course, today is when the payments are due. But like I said, if you really want to attend and you're having, you need a little bit more time to make the payments or what have you, then reach out to me. We can definitely work something out, okay? Because this is a once a year event. Once a year event where it's just the sisters. We just get together and we just, like TTK says, we just love on each other. It's a sisterhood thing, and there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like this sisterhood right here in this church. I've been around the world, and I'm telling you something. There's nothing like this. Here's the menu. Rancho Solano Classic Brunch. It's the fresh seasonal fruit display, fluffy scrambled eggs with onions, mushrooms, and cheddar cheese, Texas-style French toast with maple syrup, home fried breakfast potatoes with sauteed peppers and onions, assorted breakfast pastries and scones, assorted herbal teas, both hot and iced, baked ziti, chicken marsala, fresh roasted vegetables, and jasmine rice. The activities, we're going to have singing, praises, poetry, the teacup exchange. Let's not forget the teacup exchange, sisters. You're going to bring a teacup and saucer set in a gift bag to exchange with another sister. when you leave, you will be leaving with a different teacup and saucer than that you came with, right? And the reason is you will actually have a souvenir to take back to as a reminder of this event. We're going to be playing games. We have the most creative head wrap contest and the most fabulous hat contest. So whether you choose to wear a hat or a head wrap, as long as your head is covered, we're going to pick a winner from both categories. And there's also events, activities for the young girls that are coming. So make sure that you bring your daughters, right? Ages 5 to 10 is $25. And for the women, it's $85. There's going to be activities for the girls as well. So the payment method is through Cash App, $, Qala Yakachaa. There's my name. And that's where you can make your payment. So yes, 2 weeks from today, it's going to go down. I can't wait. I can't wait. This is going to be spectacular. We have sisters coming in from Las Vegas. We have sisters coming in from SoCal. Man, I love y'all. I really do. I am so thankful for the support, for the love, like I said, the water for showing up and showing out. Thank you. So also, yes, please, if you're not, like I said, if you are not on the email list for the Google groups, please reach out to me at my email, because you need to be added to this Google groups so you can get updates as to what's going on. Okay? Please reach out. So we have actually come to the end of our broadcast today. We are at the end of our broadcast, sisters. Look at how time flies. Oh my gosh, it's already 8:49. I can't believe it. It's already 8:49 here. So yeah, we are at the end of the broadcast. And once again, thank you, Thawada, for being here, for spending this time with me. All praises be to the Most High, Ahayah, Bahashim Yashaya Warawat Kadash, for his mercy, his kindness, his grace, for allowing us to even make it to a new week. And I just thank him for each and every one of you, for everything, what you bring into my life, how you pour into my life, the love. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I thank the Most High for you. That being said, let's say a prayer. Let's say a prayer. May the Most High bless us and keep us. May he cause his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May he lift up his countenance upon us and give us peace throughout this week. And may, if it be his will, may we be back next week to give him all praise, honor, and glory again, and to come together as sisters and to talk about these topics that are so relevant to us right now. Thank you, Heavenly Father. We ask these blessings in the name of your Son, our Lord, our Savior, our King, our big brother, Yeshua HaMashiach, or Wakadash. Let's say the Shema. Shema Yasha'Allah, Ahayah, Ahayah Nawa, Ahayah Echad. Hear, O Israel, The Lord our God is one God. All praises be to Ahayah. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will know when we are live. And if it be the Most High's will, we will be back here next week. Same tea time, same channel. Have a blessed, amazing, safe week, Ahchwath. I love you. Ahabatha. Mwah. Shalawam.